Hello there. So I'm sorry, I've not done a daily walk. I've not done a daily walk video for the last, I don't know, 2-3 days, something like that. Not really been too long, or I don't know, or maybe it's not really been as long. Maybe I've only not done it for one day. I don't even really know. But at least I know I didn't do one yesterday. Anyways, so today is February 12th of 2025. I'm already I don't know, about halfway back to the dorm. Kind of wish I thought to start this a few minutes ago, but it's fine, not too big a deal. As you can tell, it's quite dark already. So today, day's been okay, nothing great, nothing terrible. I had my work. I had 2 classes. And I wasn't enthusiastic about either, to be honest. I haven't really been enthusiastic about school at all, to be honest, in this last few weeks. I don't know. But I'm still doing well. Still doing well. I hate the soggy ground. Ew. Yeah, I'm still doing well. I'm still getting decent grades, I think. And, still participating some, in class discussions and all that good stuff. So, I'm not worried about it on that front. I did get to take a nap today. That was nice. And fortunately, since I remembered the whole annoying thing from the other day, where I forget if I talked about it or not. I feel like I probably did, but I don't know. My stupid ass Alexa speaker, it didn't go off at or whatever. It just, I asked it to set the alarm or the timer, whatever it was, and it just didn't go off. It said that it set it, but it didn't. I'm like, I don't know why it didn't do that. But yes, I did with my phone this time, and for a little bit shorter length, and it worked perfectly fine. So, I guess moral of the story, I'm not using my Alexa speaker to set timers, except for just a few odd small things. So, anyways. Two of the items two items I bought for myself, from Amazon a few days ago, were supposed to ship today. One of them was actually supposed to come here yesterday, but yesterday was a snow day, and I was actually going to I tried to do a daily walk video yesterday. However, fucking rain got in the way, made my screen blurry, and it paused the video, and I wasn't able to see it, and I don't know, it was just really annoying. I tried doing it again, once or twice, but it just wouldn't work, so I just didn't end up doing one yesterday. I'm sorry about that. I wanted to. I'll say that much. Anyhow. Yeah, so I had the nap. That was fine. Glad that I didn't miss really anything, since yesterday was a snow day here. Classes canceled. I did still go to work. Nothing really new on that front. Haven't really anything new with work in a while now, to be honest, but that's perfectly fine. I'm happy with that. Besides all that stuff, still haven't seen anything back on the whole study abroad program. But I mean, again, it could just take a few weeks. Of course, watch some more videos. Some funny stuff, some culture shock type things, and what have you not, of going to different places or Or, sometimes I like watching different videos about, or shorts about like language differences or how language has evolved over time and whatnot. I can't remember all the stuff right off my head, but it's kind of entertaining. It's kind of fun, Beyond that, my roommate actually, someone in his family passed away a few days ago, and so he left for that yesterday to go to their funeral. I don't really remember who it was right off, but nonetheless, if anyone's out there and they're a Christian, I just ask that you just pray for my roommate. You pray for his family right now. It's a really rough time for them, and again, I don't know exactly all the stuff they're going through or how my roommate's even entirely feeling about it, but I know it's quite hard. So I just asked, just please pray for him. It's a really hard time. It's just, if you did, I really appreciate it. Thank you. So yeah, I don't know if he's back in our room yet. I don't think he is. So I look up to where room's at, and I don't see any lights on, so I reckon probably not, unless he's just lying down, but he does do that sometimes. Sometimes he does like to take a little rest and whatnot, but I mean, who doesn't? Let's be real here. Adult life is exhausting sometimes, but beyond that, I don't know. I mean, nice food. I had a bunch of different random stuff for lunch and dinner today, but it's still good. I did have two of the actually I don't even remember what they're called. It's just kind of like, I would say sugar cookie, but I don't feel like that's right. Whatever it was. One of the cookies that they quite frequently made here, but I haven't had it in a while since I've pretty much almost exclusively been having the chocolate chip ones. Any sort of chocolate cookie. But those are my favorites here. And I don't know, I mean, it was nice having the other type again. Like, I don't actually dislike it, but I was just kind of like, oh yeah. Yeah, this is, I wasn't crazy about that. Just remembering that. So, with all that stuff, again, I don't really, this is something that, like, honestly, I should probably make, well, I don't have to, there's no really should or shouldn't, something real here, but, it's a possibility, and I can, again, not promising, just saying, I'm considering being, like, if I should make a video or two about kind of thoughts I've had with, let's say study abroad, but I mean, it's not quite exactly the right topic here. It's about, considerations of, if I do decide to move abroad, or, where that might be, or all sorts of factors and thoughts that go into this. And it's a complicated venture, let me tell you that much. It's a lot of stuff to talk about right now, and again, I don't really know what I'm even gonna do. To be honest, I've kind of just felt I don't even really know anymore, because there's just so many things to think about, so many factors, I mean, heck, a very big one being, if I move, right, leaving family behind, and unless they decide to move with me, I mean, maybe probably not immediately or soon after, but we could say within 5-10 years, or maybe 15 or something like that, right? If they don't move, then that's something that I'm gonna have to really think about. How am I going to deal with that? How am I going to cope with that? And I don't think it would mean, I'm not going to move because, my family's not moving. I don't think that's at the end of the day, I got to do what's right for me. But it is one of many considerations of, that sort of potential decision. But one thing I've been hoping with study abroad programs here is, of course, sure, all the academic stuff and what have you not, or helping get my degree and all that, all that blabbermouth stuff. But to me, that's not the main point. Yes, it is, quote unquote, study, right? You're going to this other college or university, this different, place in the world, and you're, learning there. But to me, it's not primarily about the academics. It's more about personal growth, about cultural, sort of knowledge and experience and growth mindset and adapting to and seeing different ways of doing things in the world, understanding people's different perspectives and mindsets and all sorts of things. It's really more about new experience, going to some different place and really embracing that part of your life. That's, to me, is what that would be about, right? And and I hope, again, right, that, if I do get accepted for this Australia program, like I said before, a few weeks ago, I think it was, I better dang have a good time, right? Because that's a really expensive program, and I might very well be the only study abroad program I get to do this entire 4 years, which is a shame, but, like many said, go big or go home. I sure love to go home too, but, I had a great family and all that. But, yes, right, I go big with this year. And I think that, honestly, going to Sydney, Australia would be fantastic. It'd be phenomenal. I think I could learn so much stuff there. And I'm not saying that because I think it's going to be all sunshine and rainbows. Or really for going anywhere, regardless if it is Australia or any of the other places I have in mind, or even somewhere else entirely, regardless. I think I'm still going to encounter a bunch of things that are going to make me question, like, it could be small stuff, language differences, how we speak things, or what type of words we use, or, stuff like that, or odd cultural norms, perhaps. But it could also going to help me to, sort of expand my horizons or see things in ways that I hadn't been before. And I do think, again, right, there's going to be a lot of things that are going to be challenging regardless. I think there's going to be a lot of hard things, but I don't think that should be necessarily a reason to not try, or at least to go to some place. And heck, right, it's not, this is not a decision I'm going to move, just because I want to kind of scout out an area does not automatically mean that, I'm going to move here. This is what I'm deciding on for the rest of my life. And I have to remind myself of that, because I know as much as I want a sort of sense of closure or certainty, okay, this is what my life's direction is, or this is where I'm going, this is the kind of job I'm doing, this is, fill in the blank. Life isn't exactly that way, and that's something I continuously have to remind myself about, because, there's so much more in life than necessarily than what you think it is, and you have to be able to adapt to different circumstances, and I think that's not necessarily a bad thing. I think for myself, I sometimes kind of get stressed out when people talk about stuff like that, because in my mind, I'm interpreting it as they're meaning it, not necessarily, they're not meaning it to be hurtful or to be mean necessarily, but really they're taking it, I feel in a sort of way that at least I personally feel is kind of pessimistic, or kind of, I don't know, makes you sort of feel sad or flat, or you kind of just feel okay, well, even what is the point, you feel apathetic maybe. And I think that's a big mistake, because it's not about are we and this is the thing I even try to do when I'm communicating to people sometimes too. I don't do perfectly at this. This is something that I think, and it really, let me let you honest here, I think it really depends on the circumstances. So again, all sorts of different factors to take into consideration, and I'm not saying that it's wrong to, sit down and give people the hard cold facts, right? But I'm just saying that sometimes it can help a lot to try to be like, okay, well, I don't have to, I don't, you don't need to, it may not necessarily be the right thing to kind of like, I don't know, what is it, sugarcoat the truth, or tell like a slightly worse version down of it or whatever. I think that the best way about it doing is saying like, okay, so here's like what your problems are, or the problems are, maybe not, it's not like personal stuff necessarily, not always, right? But then present to them like, I mean, of course you could say potential solutions, right? But you also want to be supportive in them with that and say, okay, well, okay, recognize, okay, so all these things, these are hard things to deal with, challenges. But, I'm here for you. I'm here are some resources you can use. But on top of that, think about like, okay, how can we make this person feel like optimistic, or at least a little bit optimistic? You don't want to go crazy with it, but just a little bit, right? Because I think it's important to give people a sense of hope, to give people a sense of control, to give people a sense of, okay, well, maybe things aren't perfect, but I still have some freedom. I still have some choice over what I get to do about that. And I think that's something important that we should all try to do, at least sometimes in our lives. But nonetheless, anyways, hopefully that made plenty enough sense. I don't know. I feel already. I can't fucking speak, for crying out loud. I'm feeling better already. Just doing this daily walk, I think it is, I will say, I do feel like it is sort of therapeutic for me, because like I do really appreciate getting to express my thoughts out loud. And again, I have honestly no idea necessarily everyone who watches that, but this is fine, right? But I think it's just generally a good thing to get your emotions out, and of course in a healthy way, right? And to share those. And sometimes, right, being vulnerable in that way can really lead you to sort of see things in a different way, or potentially even connect with people. Which, again, I have no idea if this will do either of those, but, we'll see. Hopefully you enjoyed this. If you did, feel free to like the video, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification bell. I'm sorry if you're seeing like a bunch of these weird little, I don't even really know what that is that you're seeing right now. That's probably just because my phone is probably a little wet right now. It's not too bad, just a little bit, because it's slightly sprinkling right now. I think my glasses are getting a little wet, but it's not too bad. I don't mind doing this when it's just sprinkling a little bit. I think that's fine, right? Little waters can not hurt anything, but anyways, enough about all that. We get going in. I hope to do another video tonight. I honestly do not know if it will be the next Minecraft video or whatnot. We'll have to see on that front. But who knows? Maybe I might do. I like the idea, since I'm kind of in this sort of talking mood. And I mean, of course, I do have a little bit of homework, but it's nothing too bad. This is something I had to read for one of my classes, but hopefully it's not too long. But I don't know, I might do more chess or poems or memes or something. I don't even know. But I'm leaning probably more towards the chess or the just like another sort of sitting down, I'd say discussion video, but let's be real, I'm not really discussing. I'm just talking to myself in front of a camera, but I like to pretend like it's a discussion. I guess you could argue that it is, because sort of, I mean, not exactly, but it's sort of, right? Because there's a comment section, and people get to tell you stuff in that comment section. At least if you toggle the comment section on. But I do that, at least for most of my videos anyways. I don't think there's been any where I've not, but anyways, I need to stop now. I gotta again do my homework here and just settle in for the night. Prep for the next day, whatever. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.